Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Wednesday morning lecture with eBiz Marketing Academy. My name is Ernesto Comodo, and today we launched the month of April, and April is Earth Month because April 22nd is Earth Day, and we want to actually celebrate the entire month dedicated to the Earth and eco-conscious marketing. So today we launched the series of April, and we want to talk about what is green marketing. So green marketing will be the first of our topics. But before that, I want to discuss a little bit about eBiz marketing. For anybody that's not familiar with us, we definitely encourage you guys to check us out at members.ebizmarketingacademy.com, or also on the Facebook group and Facebook page that we have. We are a small marketing academy that we teach the small entrepreneur, the solopreneur. If you're just starting out your business, this is the perfect place for you. We give support with these videos with the Wednesday morning lecture. We also have a 30-day challenge so you can improve your businesses little bit by little. We also give different services to business owners and coaching and everything that's in the digital spectrum. So definitely check us out. It's members.ebizmarketing.com. And so as we kick off April, what is green marketing? According to the American Marketing Association, green marketing is the marketing of products that are presumed to be environmentally safe. Few people that also work in sustainability prefer the term responsible marketing and even ethical marketing. But nevertheless, green marketing is still a popular term to define a company that brands itself, a product, or a service as beneficial to the environment and our society. Green marketing promotes that your company uses sustainable materials or offers energy efficient products, or that your packaging is 100% recyclable. These facts can appeal to consumers and also save your company money in the long run. And I'll discuss that in a little bit. A society becomes more concerned with the natural environment. Businesses have begun navigating ways to modify the behaviors in attempt to address society's new concerns. Some businesses have been quick to accept the concepts such as environmental management systems and waste minimizations have integrated in environmental issues into organizational activities. And also there's a recent research has shown that consumers do prefer companies that use green marketing terms in their advertising versus the ones that don't. But you need to be a little bit aware of that. And I also want to discuss on that point in just a moment. But let's talk about the importance of green marketing. The importance of green marketing is that being the world's most environmental sensitive company won't help your brand unless nobody knows it. So in order for you to reap the full benefits of an eco-friendly products or policies of or a company that you might be, you need to market what you are doing to the world, or at least to your target demographic. The U.S. sustainability market is projected to reach $150 billion in sales just in 2021 this year, according to Nielsen. And also remember, as an entrepreneur, we are considered the leaders of our communities, our networks, or even our tribe. We might have employees that might look up to us as leaders. We might have a team. We might have, suppliers, all different people that kind of relate to us. And we need to let them know what is our stand on eco-friendly products and sustainability. So it can raise awareness to your customers your team, and even your competitors as well, that you're being more eco-conscious. It's a win-win for the earth and for your business to be seen as the leader in green marketing. Um, some key moves that you can do is tell potential customers how your product help the environment. For example, a detergent that washes all clothes perfectly in cold water, eliminating the need for warm water to wash. That saves plenty of energy. Um, Use of green packaging if you have a product. If buyer sees that you use packaging that wastes lots of plastics and cardboard, that undercuts your green brand. But sustainability is becoming a big trend in the packaged goods and fashion industry, as environmental concerns are increasingly top of mind and becoming more top of mind to consumers. So think about if you sell a product, how you're gonna package it, how you're gonna reduce the packaging. Apple recently, their iPhones have reduced their packaging, and that also is related to the eco-friendly move they're trying to decrease their carbon footprint. Encourage recycling. That's another part that you can do. If your products don't pile up in landfills, let consumers know about it. Let consumers know what to do in the end of life products, how they can repurpose to make something else. But also walk the walk. A lot of companies pretend to be eco-friendly when they're just engaged in what is called greenwashing. Is claiming that you're using recycled materials when they don't. For example, if it comes out that you are faking it, that can kill any credentials that you have earned with your customers, and that can be really, really bad. So make sure whatever you're doing and you're telling people that you actually are doing it. Otherwise, it'd be more harmful than good. So if you're not doing anything, don't say. But I want to show this screen here so you can see. I just got this email yesterday. So even Adidas and big companies are starting to do more sustainable marketing. So you win a pair of the new, more sustainable Stan Smith, the most famous, one of the most famous shoes that Adidas has, the Stan Smith, are becoming more sustainable and use of less plastic. So what are some advantages of using green marketing? As you can see, green marketing can give you a competitive advantage. Being green or sustainable encompasses many elements, such as energy efficient, the use of clean renewable energy, water conservation, recycling and waste management, eco-friendly apparel, organic produce, sustainable farming, and much more. So the key to a successful green marketing strategy is to communicate authentic and concrete facts about company engagement towards social and environmental causes. Green marketing will bring a competitive advantage. When you choose green marketing, you are seen as a conscious or responsible leader in your industry. This is true even for customers that do not prioritize environmental issues. It also creates a wider choice of marketing points that you can promote and discuss with your customers, which go beyond traditional strategies such as having the lowest price, durability, and style. Focus on your product, environmental and social benefits instead of solely just marketing the price and the value. You also, point number 2, you also raise awareness on important environmental and social issues. If a company supports any causes, partnering with a fellow environmental leaders can be part of its green marketing strategy. This can bring huge momentum to a campaign or even an event that's training, workshop, and more. An example is, as I have the picture on the right-hand side of the screen, Patagonia donates a portion of their sales to environmental charities and is seen as one of the most respectable outdoor clothing lines in the world. In fact, they even have an entire section of this in their website dedicated to the environmental and social responsibility. They're a big promoter of the 1% for the planet, where 1% of the entire, not profit, but the entire sales are donated to this organization to help the world. Another example of a big company is Whole Foods. They support sustainable agriculture with suppliers, and even created its own eco scale for cleaning, for the cleaning products that they sell. This might be some large scale companies, but when it comes down to green marketing advantages, the same possibilities apply to even the smallest companies. For example, if you have a small company, if you're just on your own, such as a consulting firm, you can participate in local environmental events such as Earth Day, which takes place on April 22nd. You can promote, clean the streets day or clean the beach. These events can also bring awareness and usually have their own activities. You can have competitions and promotions in place as well. And I'll give a few more ideas as we get more to the end of this presentation. Now, some of the disadvantages that we can have with green marketing are three major disadvantages. One is the initial cost. Two, depending on your industry, can be costly certifications. And three, as I mentioned earlier, you need to really be aware of greenwashing. So as we talk about it, for the initial costs, changing your marketing tactics will take time. I mean, and the development of a new strategy, which is definitely going to translate into costs. While your sustainable efforts and practices are designed in the long run to save you money, when a company puts the effort in changing their brand, it can to be more environmental friendly. These changes will have an expensive upfront cost, so something to think about before you start a green marketing efforts for your company. Think about the cost and the advantages, but also think about the long run. It is going to be expensive, but maybe 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line is actually going to save you some money. For the costly green certifications, to commercialize your products as green, depending on your industry, you might have to go through a long, pricey process to obtain environmental certifications. These certifications, which the government or industry associations, professional associations, and consumer rights groups distribute, use certain certifications to meet industry and environmental standards, especially true for companies that operate in the fields of energy consumption, recycling, waste management. Respecting these standards can be difficult, and that is one of the main green marketing disadvantages, particularly because without these official standards, consumers and industries will have no way of measuring the facts of the green claims. And they will not really have credibility with their customers. Now, the other thing, the third part of the disadvantage is that you don't want to be seen as your company, you're greenwashing. So don't overhype what you're doing just to make your company look green. This means a company will make something that is not sustainable look green by putting, you don't want to do that. Like you don't want to, let's say you are a green, let's say you have you have bottled waters, but you want to claim that your plastic is 100% recyclable, but at the same time, it's not sustainable the way you're using the bottles and the disposal of them. So the package can be 100% recyclable, while the entire production process is polluting. So that's not sustainable business. That is why many customers have grown skeptical. Sorry, having a hard time pronunciation. Skeptical of seeing the word green stamp in products or services. The word green has been vastly overused and has been practically lost its meaning in some instances. And what's more, customers even see it as simply an excuse for a company to change more for products with no environmental benefits. So really be aware of that. Now some tips that we can use. Let me show you this here. It's pretty cool. Some tips, some ideas. This is a this is a playground, and if you see, the resurface is actually made out of old tennis shoes. Nike has a big program where you bring your old sneakers and they'll repurpose it. So one of their big initiatives is they can repurpose it to resurface playgrounds. They can do basketball courts. So they can do several things with it. And that's an idea. I know this is a big scale. Maybe it's costly for a small company. But if you sell a product, think of a way that you can have your customer bring that product back at the end of the life of that product, and you can repurpose it for something else. You can use it, or you can maybe even sell it to a larger company that can actually use it for something else. Best Buy has the same initiative with all computers, all electronics. You can bring it to their store and they will take it in. They'll gladly take it in and they'll repurpose it to use in several ways. One of the things to start, if you're planning to start in the green marketing initiative for your company, is start with environmental audit. Consider consulting with an outside environmental auditing service. Such a firm, they actually suggest such as reducing electric bills, by moving to an LED-based lighting system and migrating to reusable cups and containers. You can also, if you're really small, you can also try doing an audit yourself. If you're going to do an audit yourself, you can easily start by checking your trash in your business. See what you have inside your trash and how it can be reduced. Look at your energy. A thing about trash, if you have a restaurant or if you have a coffee shop, something I saw recently is a coffee shop, how they use their beans that have been grounded already. Instead of throwing in the trash, they're using it for compost. In the food industry, a lot of the scraps or the food can be used from compost and other recycling. So and that all started by looking at their trash. They saw their trash. They saw, how much bags of coffee was being wasted every single day, and they did something about it. So also look at your energy. See how you can be more efficient. As I mentioned, your light bulbs, can you be solar power? Can you be energy power? Do you have vehicles? Can they be electric vehicles? And besides that, look at your products. Your products can also be, is there a way that can be more green? They can be a more sustainable material. If you need to ship things out to customers, is there a way your packaging can look, be used 100% recyclable material as well? So the second tip I had was using recyclable materials, as I just mentioned. The more recyclable materials you use, the eco-friendly your business can be. Biodegradable labels and 100% recyclable paper. Shipping boxes can be made out of 100% recycled material. Waste material generated on site and recycled, such as boxing, packaging materials, paper bottles, and caps as well. Repurpose or redesign your products. As mentioned, companies can see dramatic reduction in their internal operating costs by redesigning how the products are made or disposed of. In many instances, products that reach the end of their useful life cycle can be repurposed as raw materials in the creation of a new product, also serving considerable dollars previously allocated to the purchase of new material instead of using that money you're using it to repurpose a no product. The other tip is also for a small business, if you have a small office, is place recycling bins throughout your office, or if you have a brick and mortar throughout the store. As green businesses realize that employees or customers, they do want to recycle, but you need to make it convenient for them. Place recycling receptacles throughout your place of business, offering opportunities to throw something in a blue bin as opposed to a wastebasket is most of the battle one right there. Another tip is encourage and reward environmental conscious behavior. Encourage the use of environmental conscious packaging. If employee brings their lunch to work in a glass container, or they get to go coffee in their own mugs, you can give them an incentive. Or if a customer brings their own bags, kind of how we see in the grocery stores. I seen also bringing back the coffee shop. I seen people bring their own mugs to coffee shops. Some coffee shops actually give you a credit for that. So something also to put that in the back of your mind. Or bring in an old product and you give them credit to recycle it. So you, as I mentioned earlier, in repurposing your product, another idea, if they bring something that you sold them and is already old or broken or whatever, if they bring it back, you can give them a certain amount of credit for bringing it back, and you can repurpose it or you can recycle it, but you have it. Reduce your paper use. I think paper is significantly for us, especially more consultant-based industries, law firms, or industry as well. We haven't, in our own industry, we haven't shown a client a paper-proof concept in years already. And this is a significant, because in advertising, clients are used to seeing paper mock-ups and campaign ideas. Instead, we use several software and cloud applications available to communicate and update documents instead of paper. Like many eco-friendly practices, going paperless has its benefits, not just in the use of paper, but also in the use of storage space, something that a lot of people don't think about. But formerly, a lot of the paper had to be, had to have storage bins or cabinet to storage. And a lot of our documents now are just actually in the cloud, in Dropbox or Google Drive. And that's, saving space is also another green initiative. And the other part, the last part I want to mention is you want to get everyone on board. So to run a green business, an eco-friendly business, is vital that everyone's dedicated to greening your company. Get employees, or if you don't have employees, team members, or staff, or even suppliers, and of course your customers always. You can do team building activities and initiatives related to improving the environment. Get everyone together for a trail and beach cleanups. There's companies that has an initiative called Native Trail Challenge, and this is pretty cool that I just saw. And they had this initiative. It's called the Native Trail Challenge, and involves competing for hiking miles that translate in donating dollars for local environmental nonprofits. So the company has chosen several nonprofits that donate, and their staff or team members, if they go on this hiking for miles, they show their miles, and depending how many miles they walk, they actually donate them a certain amount of dollars to several nonprofits. So align yourself to also a nonprofit that you believe in, or create your own if you have the means to, or it's something that you really care about that you don't see a nonprofit that's there for that. And so talking about that, I mentioned earlier the Patagonia example. You can always check that organization out, which is 1% for the planet. And a few other ideas, sponsor a cleanup a day, pledge a plant a tree for every new order you get. Every new order, you can plant a tree. I mean, that can be a really good initiative. Change your packaging, as I mentioned. Find ways to utilize your products at the end of life. Some ideas, as I've been mentioned throughout this presentation, includes the food scraps for compost, clothing material to remake other clothes. The Nike recycling program that I mentioned, they trying to move to zero in 5 years, zero carbon footprint. Choose your suppliers carefully is another part. Make sure your suppliers are also giving you the green materials you want and are meeting the standards you want to meet. So, choose them carefully. If they're not meeting the green standards you want to be at, look around. There could be alternatives, or it could be options. And then all of us have a website. I mean, most of us should have a website if you're a small business, but also look at your hosting accounts. Green web hosting or eco-friendly hosting that uses eco-friendly sources for the energy consumption and take necessary steps to reduce their carbon footprints. Thus, hosting companies that try to make better impact environment by controlling the carbon emissions from their servers. So the websites that utilize large amount, usually web hosting is usually hosting servers are usually huge computers, and they use a lot of electricity for running the service and provide it. So make sure they use alternative energy and renewable energy that is actually making you having a green hosting, and it's good for the environment and good all around. Another thing is on your office, refillable ink cartridges. Instead of throwing your ink cartridges away, or toners, try to find ways that you can refill them. Organic food, if you're in the food industry, instead of using pesticides or other chemicals that are bad for the environment. Eco-friendly, if you're in the beauty industry, eco-friendly beauty products. If you're in the landscaping, always look at eco-friendly landscaping products. And it'll be good for the environment and also good for your customers and good for your marketing. So it's a win-win situation for all of us. So that is my presentation for today. And if there's any questions, feel free to put them on the chat on Facebook, and we'll definitely get back to you guys. And before I let you guys go, let me show you what we got coming up on our morning lectures this month. Today, as I mentioned earlier, April is Earth Month. Earth Day falling on April 22nd. So we just had a brief introduction what green marketing is. Next week, we're going to be talking about how you're going to measure your carbon footprint. So stay tuned for that one. It's going to be a great presentation, and you're going to figure out best ways that you can actually measure how much carbon footprint you're using as a business or as your own household as well. April 21st, how to make your brand more eco-friendly. And April 28th, how to locate a cause that aligns with your brand. So I'll see you guys all next week. Hopefully everybody has a great rest of the week. And If anything else, make sure you follow us on eBiz Marketing Academy on our Facebook page and join the group. And we'll love to see you guys join us as at members.ebizmarketingacademy.com. Okay, so I'll see you all next week. Have a great week.